Justice Universal, Allah, coming here from Medina. It's real glorious to be down here to build with my family. I see today's mathematics says wisdom, God, all being born to born. I see wisdom as the manifestation of knowledge. A wise word spoken or a wise action done by a wise man, thereby showing and proving that he possesses a wise doing. I see God as the supreme being, the best knower, the master of all ciphers, the Lord of all the worlds. Born means to be complete or to bring something forth into existence. So wisdom, God, when you manifest the knowledge of God, that's when you bring whatever you want into existence. All you gotta do is manifest the knowledge of God. Because that's the innate ability. Ability that lies inside of all of us. That's why the ability to travel, to travel with this divine vehicle, that's getting into wisdom. Wisdom is the bridge. Wisdom is the bridge that connects knowledge and understanding. Because knowledge is stationary. Knowledge doesn't move. But wisdom is the ways and actions. Wisdom is what allows us to interact. With our physical environment. Through mentally. Wisdom is what mentally allows us to interact. That's why it was peace what the God said. The eyes only absorb knowledge. They only absorb knowledge for your mind to see. That's just the black hole. Sucking up all the light. And light, we know that light is the foundation. Of all things in existence. That's the sun. That's why we can never look at the stars or the sun as something up in the sky. We gotta at all times look at the sun and the stars as something that's here walking on the planet. Because this is we heavenly bodies. So being a heavenly body, that means we a celestial body. Just for the fact that we don't revolve around anything. We may traverse the planet, but we sure don't revolve around it. We not set at a polar. We not set at opposite extremes. We not set in any sort of orbit. We swift and changeable. We are remainable. At all times. So that's important. That's why every day I make a conscious effort. To watch what's trying to be put into my cipher. And that's also going is the wisdom in God. Because other people try to influence you with their wisdom. And that's trick wisdom. Because trick knowledge also lead to trick wisdom, lead to trick understanding. So anytime you got a lot of trick knowledge out there. People is throwing trick knowledge at us. At so much that the level of bombardment, is so huge that a lot. I gotta watch your own mind at all times. Other than that, you find yourself doing something that's out of accordance with your own self, But the advantage that we have is that we aware, So even when we do something that's in accordance with our own self, we at least able to point that out to our own self. Like, yo, I ain't even in accordance with my own self right now. That's intelligent, Other than that, if you can't do that, then you don't possess any more intelligent than anybody in any age, 5-year-old, 3-year-old. If you can't control your own self, then what separates you from a child? Because in this society, we looked at as adults mainly for playing adult roles. That's the only thing that makes you looked upon as adult in this society is playing the adult roles. If you could play an adult role at any age, if you see somebody 6 years old, they pull up in the Rolls Royce, and they pull out a pocket full of cash, then that's an adult right there, in this society, it's all about the role, and all the roles we learn is through imitation, and we imitating the devil, That's the one thing we learn is how to imitate our whole life. We learn, the highest level we could achieve as far as adult level, that's the supreme level we could achieve in life is to imitate this and imitate that, So all this imitation of the devil, don't let us so far away from our own self that we can't even see the foundation anymore. You know, like this man right here, you know, this is a young man, you know, because the man lies inside of him. You know, he a reproduction of the son. You know, a lot of people, you know, people might look down at him and say, oh, you know, he's not as tall as us, or you only a child. You know, but really, a lot of people really don't realize how close that they are to actually being a child. You know, because people have no self-control. You know, if you can't control your own self from doing minute things, as far as from you can't control yourself from putting something in your mouth, then that's something a baby who can't even walk could do. You know, that's what a little baby do. A little baby go just picking up any type of things, just putting it in their mouth without thinking about it. So if you can't do that, it doesn't matter how old you are. You know, you ain't elevate to another level. You know, we just been going around in a circle in the same cipher over and over again. You know, that's why it's important to renew the cipher. You know, because a circle don't get new. You know, it get deeper or denser. You know, if it's a sphere, it's gonna get denser. You know, dealing with a cylinder is gonna get deeper. You know, that's how you renew the history. Other than that, it don't make no sense to just stay in the 2D circle going around 360 degrees, because ain't nothing being added on into. You know, there ain't nothing new under the sun, but there's always something new inside of the sun. You know, so that means it's nothing. Yeah, that might be, it's all well and true that there's nothing outside of myself that hasn't been seen or heard. You know, but there is always something inside of myself that hasn't been seen or heard, because I got the ability to create that. You know, but dealing with what comes on the outside, wisdom, that's dealing with expression. You know, how you choose to express knowledge. You know, there's infinite ways to choose to express knowledge. You know, you express knowledge in this way, you know, or that way, but you still expressing the same fact, you know, in a multitude of different ways. You know, that's what we all expression of the same one. You know, that's why, you know, we don't look at ourselves as being two ones outside of ourselves or being two ones inside of our own self. You know, because when people look at two ones inside of their own self, they're looking at purely the higher and the lower self. All right. Well, the lower, that'll be me dealing with the tendencies of an 85. That'll be me dealing with my unrighteous tendencies. My higher self, that's when I'm dealing with my God tendencies. It ain't no two ones though. You know, it's only one mind. You know, so whether you realize it or not, we all making conscious decisions at all times. Even when we making subconscious decisions, you know, the word conscious is still in there. You know, and conscious means awareness. So either you're gonna be fully aware, that's conscious, or you're gonna be sub-aware, you're gonna be subconscious, or you're gonna be super aware. You know, that's why we strive to be super aware at all times. You know, that way, you know, we in control of the cipher. You know, that's truly showing and proving that we the master of the cipher. You know, that when you're in control of all things that happen on the mental plane and on the physical plane. You know, because if you can't be in control of what happens on the mental plane, then we can never be in control of what's expressed down here in the physical plane. You know, because what we express on the mental plane, you know, that's the biggest war. You know, the biggest fight. You know, that's why the coaches I got, because the biggest fight is the fight with your own self. You know, because that's your biggest enemy. You know, and that's your biggest friend. You know, it is your own self. You know, so you got to take the devil. When you take the devil off the planet, you know, you got to take the devil off your planet first. You know, because other than that, he's always going to still be there to sabotage your own efforts. You know, he's always there to sabotage you. You know, always there at all times. You know, for instance, you know, to give an example, you know, sometimes when you hear, everybody hears that, even though society, you know, dealing with the try to separation of your own self, you know, everybody talks to themselves inside their own head. You know, you wouldn't be able to think if you didn't talk to yourself. Anytime you think about something, you're just talking to yourself silently. You know, now when it's something that you don't want to do, when it's something you make a conscious effort that you don't want to do or you don't want to think about, that's the same identical voice that's talking to you. But it's just that he's out of control. You know, it's just that he's talking to you when you